Ya kini kejingtung ya uni buckwheat la sedang da Kian Kumar ti nang tala peniak caprang pada da kong lili kelayat cua da ke field trials ke makila le ki KVK East Khasi Hills.
Ngila persang uni ban thung uni buckwheat hau nai March aja apho ngi kejing mi bha kejong kejing sentiu bha railing ba kejing wan jong ketuka typhoon Amphan kini sentiu kla du no ma kejing jur pala jong slam bat ngi kemai yo apau sembai le niu tau sieng bengin yo ban bu sembai pada ti hau nai August ngi la yo khandiat uni buckwheat tingi persang hau nai February hau nai ka pratrik banai February ngila rap yang hau ada jar arkuwei bat kumjuk du hau nai March ka pratrik hi ajar arkuwei.
But the Krishi Vigyan Kendra, whatever we have done in Upper Shillong, that gave us a reasonable hope that this plant can grow in our state. And then they did successfully harvest, and then they came up with a reasonable quantity of seed. Then once we were confident, then we picked up not much, just about 4 acres area, but that was split among about 25 farmers, 25 to 26 farmers.
But they had new number are charkat kandai. Hakabala penlong yaga North East Food Show, hangtei hanba Shillong, but hakata kapor, Kian Kumar, but we representatives na Bangladesh Organic Limited. Hakatei kapor, ngilaya sanyeru yaga Memorandum of Understanding, but ka Bangladesh Organic Limited, habinyo ban sedang ban thung yoni jingtung. Ti hanus dem ar charkandai, how March, but how April, but May. Nyelayo ban thung yoni jingtung. Rei hakatei snem rungi ibo long pa. Rei snewbok namar bagajingwan linshop jongga Eryong Amphan. Angkat bot pria paro kila culor lut. Batang iwe sembai nyimdon. Barang ni kesdem dei ka KPK kelawan ra ini sembai, bat kelawan batai ini kumno begin thung, kumno begin penbit penbiang ye gini ki lengkha ni hadu bun dolong kumni kumbau long ta.
My target is to reach at least 1,000 acres in a span of about, and 1,000 acres would be quite good because the Japanese would be interested, the Bangladeshis are interested, and there are in fact there is a standing agreement with a Bangladesh businessman, but which we had not been able to honor because of that cyclone which I mentioned to you last time.
We realized that this is a crop that has tremendous potential for Meghalaya itself. And that is the reason why from the commission we took it upon ourselves and resolved to expand this cultivation of buckwheat this year to close to 100 hectares. After this 100 acres has been grown and the plantations will start again in August, September, October, we should be able to touch, we're looking at a target of about 500 metric tons.
Te uniu jingtung habaningkong habang ayo jingtip na mayrang hakandai tarik jong panai mat ba kadon ke jingyalang hang te mayrang ba ukhot u KN Kumar tu ki he nang te na Shillong ki commissioner ki khot man wan hak te meeting ban ya kendu ya kinong rep ban ya phliu jingmut ya kinong rep te ki batai uni u phang uni u jaran te ngaperkhat ong tau jingtung re ba suksya la nga sumudur marwe hadu ban mit ngam yo thia su ban perkhat ta jingtung mar ngas ngobang te ka weru ngas ngobang mar ong udon ke jingya dei kebayajan bat ungap te hak ta ga por ngalas ngul ba ta te kle dei bat kam jonga mar ngau ngap ru ngari.
And then we realized that we can only take buckwheat big time if people are aware of Meghalaya as a major buckwheat producer, and also for the consumers themselves to know that yes, there is something called buckwheat which will be available. And that's the reason why we've decided to go for what we're calling now the Meghalaya Buckwheat Global Showcase. Based on the performance of the buckwheat during the last year's month of March, the March planting season, we could see the potential of buckwheat, especially in the more temperate areas of the state. We had also thought of expanding the cultivation to the warmer areas of the state. And during the showcase, we saw a lot of attendance from the Garo Hills farmers. And the Garo Hills farmers had expressed great interest to start the buckwheat cultivation. And for that reason, we had taken up buckwheat in all the 5 districts of Garo Hills.
Yarangni bidungo daude Meghalaya Farmers Commission ni geta ya buckwheat ke anirang khoba Garo Hillsona bisong ya gepatna geta bisong rake kham khainga Shillongo Khasi Hills rango de ya ko khangan Garo Hills nas khangan ge manaha
Meghalaya Farmers Commission ni geta chingna bachlang khotna ha aro atma ni geta chingna ya priok ni chingna dak sakani ya training rang khotna aro priok ni free training rang khotna ha aro giani shumai rango chingna bisong ya atma ni geta lain rang ko me kita hari nanga gina nanga chiru nanga ya mukhu chingna bai bisong training khotna ha.
From the commission, we had offered farmers that whatever they produce, we would buy. We would buy all the seeds at 50 rupees a kilo, but surprisingly, nobody wanted to sell. And when we started inquiring, we found that farmers were actually selling to each other. In fact, farmers had found their own market. They were getting a much better price than even what we were offering. All in all, I would say that the experiment that we tried in the warmer areas of the state like Ribhoy and the Garo Hills has been successful. And in fact, this time we had close to 184 acres of cultivation, around 320 or 325 farmers actually in this March season. Which is a good progress as compared to when we started with 4 acres. It was because we realized the importance of post-harvest processing. Then from the commission we resolved to send a team of 4 officers to Japan to actually go there and have a look at what the Japanese are doing on the post-harvest and processing of buckwheat. When the team came back from Japan, they had identified the small-scale machinery that was required, which the Japanese. Buckwheat is one of the best bee forage crops. Apparently, recent research has shown that buckwheat honey has 1.5 times more antioxidant power than Manuka honey. There are actually people who are now venturing into very specific buckwheat products and cuisines. In fact, we have buyers who have come through I-teams who now are looking for anything between 100 metric tons of buckwheat, every month, and 200 metric tons of hulls of shells. We've had a lot of offers for collaboration, especially from the corporates. But yes, we are not yet at that stage. But hopefully, I think in the next couple of years, we should be able to tie up these, collaborations. We are now at the 4th year of the pilot initiative on buckwheat cultivation. The kind of response from the farmers has been encouraging, I would say, in the sense that we started off with 4 acres and now we are at close to 400 plus acres. We have identified and we are now putting in place a system of registered buckwheat seed growers, because the major constraint for any kind of expansion is the seed. We have received encouraging responses, especially from Assam, Nagaland, Arunachal, where Nectar, through its own initiatives, has also started popularizing the cultivation of buckwheat. We are also seeing a rise in demand coming from other parts of the country, especially with regards to the process or the dehull buckwheat, the groats what they call them, which are mainly used as a grain. The commission has tied up with the Japanese company called BGBSI. So we have partnered with them to identify certain equipment that would enable us to be able to process buckwheat into hulls and into groats, because there is a very distinct market for both the products. I'm happy also to inform that the Department of Agriculture is considering putting in place a specific scheme for buckwheat and millets. And we look forward to the department taking it up and mainstreaming it, because basically at the end of the day, the mandate and the role of the commission is to pilot and introduce interventions which we think are beneficial for the farmers. And going forward from now, we expect and we hope that the Department of Agriculture would now take it up on a massive scale. A sort of horizontal expansion is taking place whereby even the SSGs of the MSRLF, their SSGs are now interested in cultivating buckwheat. And this year, I think this year around 70 kgs of seed has already been distributed to these farmers.
This is a strategy dialogue for buckwheat.
Buckwheat has penetrated almost the entire state. And probably with the exception of East Jaintia Hills, because I think there it's yet to take off, but almost the entire state is covered with buckwheat.
Japan wants to import buckwheat from India. And we are the only state in the country which is supporting the expansion of area in buckwheat.
If we look at the buckwheat, it has a number of rich content of essential amino acids, and it has a high amount of rutin, which is rutin is a flavonoid which is essentially required for protecting us from any cardiac disease.
I think buckwheat is one of those rare crops that have so long been ignored, but will prove to be, I think, a gold mine and a treasure for not only the state of Meghalaya, but for the entire country. And the only thing I can say is that going forward from now on, I think there are good days ahead for buckwheat farmers.